So basically, how does addiction become a superpower? Why would anybody turn to a life of addiction, and somehow still manage, Well, think about it like this. What addiction basically becomes is a cycle of repetition, a chemical relationship, So one plus one always brings you back to zero, because that's what addiction is. You could add one drug in one person and you'll still end up with nothing. That's how society measures it, So if essentially in the equation of drugs, a person equals nothing in the equation, you know, because their value doesn't come from the drug use or being in the equation of drugs. It comes from being, So essentially, like, what is a person on drugs practicing? Well, what is their ritual, They practicing living a life of vacuum, because one drug, one person. And what is being sucked away? Not only the freedom to live according and driven by other impulses, or at least, varying the impulses that you respond to, or at least apply in regards to the drive that life calls for, So essentially, the practice of drug is practicing being a vacuum, practicing living without nothingness, because, what do addicts usually become? Homeless, without a house, without relationships. Their coherence is completely disturbed mentally, and so on and so forth. So with the aspect of addiction, all that being an addict really means is creating a vacuum that sucks people into your lifestyle, demands of them having to basically measure themselves against your doings, because think about it like that. If you walk into Skid Row, for instance, immediately the first thing that you do as people is you compare your life versus theirs. What the hell is up with that? Or you enter there and your attention is so drawn by whatever captures your attention that you don't even take a moment to actually realize, like, the truth of the matter, just what calls your attention and calls to your attention, or manages to. But essentially, the life of an addict is just a vacuum, vacuum where I don't allow no coherence mentally. So don't talk to me about shit that makes sense. I don't allow nothing to be felt with anything that matters. So feel any way you want, as long as you honestly can't explain it. But essentially, that's what a life of an addict is. So how many of you guys are out there living the life of an addict and not even